Hello. So today I want to talk to you about 3 books that I've released recently. I did a big old video that had like all the books I'd published, and then the nature of that then is that I am publishing more books constantly. I average at about 6 books a year. We're at about halfway through the year, and I have 3 books that I've published. So we're on track. I actually have 2 books that will be coming out very soon, very quickly, one after another. Because I have both their second drafts done. I'm just working on editing. So maybe it's a little bit of a preview. The books that are coming out, that are going to be coming out. The next one is going to be Until I Fall Away. This is a proof. This is what I've been using for editing. Until it's really beat up, because as I'm retyping it up, I have to like go like this, and so that it will like stay open and stuff like that. And after Until I Fall Away, it'll be New Match, which is the first in a new series. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the books that are actually out that you can buy today. Not that, you know, by the time that this video goes up, those other 2 books will not be out. But first up, the first book that I published recently is Sunset, which is the 3rd and final Vandetic book. This is exciting because I have no intention of ever expanding the Vandetic universe. Ever. Which is very rare for me. For those of you that haven't read my stuff, you do know that I love series. I really do. I love series. I love writing a series. And I love writing so many books in a series, and I love adding to that series. The Odds Boy series is a great example of this. But this book, this trilogy, this is just a horror novella trilogy, and it's done. So what the Vandetic series, it starts out with Spawn. This is maybe a little bit of a recap for those of you who didn't watch my other video. Starts off with Spawn, and it goes to Sacrifice, and then it goes to Sunset, and my cover guide disappeared between Sacrifice and Sunset, so it's a shame. But Sunset, like I said, is the 3rd and final book. The series follows a heavy metal band in the 80s and a whole bunch of demon shit that they just keep getting themselves into. It's fun. I had a lot of fun with it. This series is definitely my least popular series. I don't even know how many people have bought these books. It's very few. But I enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun with them. I experimented a lot with the writing style, and their 3rd person present tense, and we do mostly follow one specific point of view, but then we do get a different point of view in Sunset. About halfway through the book, what is I guess supposed to be the ending happens, and then we get a new point of view, chapter 17, and it continues. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with these books. I think I do think they're super fun. Like, they're all on Kindle Unlimited, so if you want some really just kind of easy, quick horror novellas, read them on Kindle Unlimited or buy the paperbacks. I think they're pretty. I think they're not super bad. When it comes to my covers, even though my cover guy left, I tried my best to match at least a little bit. The longest book is the 2nd book. It was originally a 4-book series, but then I smashed books 2 and 3 together for Sacrifice. But yeah, I published this one recently. Yeah, I really enjoy these books. They're not very popular though. Next up, the next book that I published was Bandit, which is the 3rd and final book in the Teen On trilogy. Unlike Vandetic, I do have plans to expand this universe, which is unfortunate because fantasy fantasy is really hard for me. This is a fantasy series. I do have plans for 3 novellas. I think it's 3. It's either 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it's 3 novellas. One of them I've already written the first draft of. 3 novellas and then a sequel trilogy. So yeah, there's that. But this is the 3rd book. The first book is Circus Wings. The 2nd book is Royal Blood, and then the 3rd book is Bandit Born. And this is it. This is a fantasy trilogy. Everybody, and again, this is not one of my popular series. Everybody that has read Circus Wings has really enjoyed it. Mostly they like the characters. I cannot speak for Royal Blood. I don't know. Mostly because something bad happened to the character everybody liked at the end of Circus Wings, which I regret. Because when I was writing Circus Wings, I didn't know it was going to be a series, so I just was killing everybody out here. But yeah, this series follows the first book, Circus Wings. It follows this princess who decides that she doesn't want to just be a ruler sitting in her castle as bad things happen. She wants to go out and do something, and that just ruins everything. So she runs off. It follows her, and it follows one of her guards who is like dead set on just dragging her back because she has made his life so unbearably hard. And then the 2nd book we meet some new characters. The 3rd book we bring them all together. and the sequel trilogy is going to follow kids, because that's what you do in fantasy sequel trilogies. But yeah, these books were hard for me to write. Just because fantasy is not, it's not easy. Fantasy is not easy. Everything else is kind of easy, like horror, easy. Fantasy, no. But yeah, this is my fantasy. This is my only straight up fantasy. There are other, like, the Pentology of Hell has like fantasy elements to it, but this is my only straight up fantasy. Again, all of them are on Kindle Unlimited. Real quick. They're real fun. Lots, probably mentioned this too, but lots of diversity in both of these. Both mostly in terms of like sexuality and stuff like that, but also in terms, in this one we got in terms of race too. But yeah, I got these. And then I've got one that is not a part of a series, and that is Graduation Day. This is a collection of short stories and essays. I kind of like to put out one of these a year. I try really hard to write short stories and essays. I don't know how good I think I'm decent at essays. Short stories, I don't know some of the time, but yeah, this is my 2023 short story essay collection. It's got At Day's End, and each one has like a little snippy here. Yeah, At Day's End, which is a kind of like a vignette. The Elevator, which is a story I wrote a long time ago actually, but I really liked it when I wrote it. It's not that bad. Knowledge for Knowledge's Sake, which is an essay. Band, which is another vignette really. Tree Climbers Nonsense, which is another old story. Middle High Elementary, which is an essay. Graduation Day, which is a story. Nervous Tick, which is a story, an old one. Of Course I Fell in Love with Tate Langdon I Was 16, which is an essay. It's about American Horror Story. Get in the Ice Machine, which was actually first published in the Northern Narratives Fargo Public Library thing, which if you were in North Dakota, you know, or maybe you don't know, now you know. The Fargo Public Library puts out like a collection of short stories, essays, and poetry every year, and if you're in North Dakota, or I believe Minnesota, you can submit, and then they'll give you a free copy. It's payment and a contributor's copy, but it's still kind of fun. But Get in the Ice Machine was originally published in that. They were like, oh man, you do second person so well. And in my heart, I was like, it's because I was a home step. That's why I do second person. Managerial Duties is another old story. And I finished out with the stunning essay, Tobias from Animorphs is a Byronic hero. Fight me. So that's that. Yeah, this is my third essay short story collection. I think they're fun. Again, it's on Kindle Unlimited. So but yeah, these are the last 3 books that I've published. I intend to publish, I intend to publish like five more books before the year's over. I know I'll publish 2. I feel like at least 3 will get done. But who knows, once summer's almost over. I'm filming this on the Sunday before school starts. I've got until, well, Tuesdays when we have to go back for in-service, so I don't know how it's gonna go as the school year starts up again, but I know I will finish up until I Fall Away and New Match. Those will get published before the year ends, but I do also intend to publish and finish Guillaume, which is a standalone that's very much inspired by like Lord of the Flies, and Class B, which is a companion novel to the Pentology of Hell. Like remember how I said that I like to just add stuff to completed series, as well as Flip Flop Felony, which is the 3rd book in the Serial Killers with Cookies series. I don't know why I don't just call it the Serial Killers with Cookies series. Its real name is the Abnormal Murder series, but I just never call it that. I call it Serial Killers with Cookies. But I do have a plan. I have like, I would say like 30,000 words on Guillaume, and I thought Guillaume was going to be a novella, but it's not. I'm going to have 3 parts, and I'm not even done with part 1. I'm at 30,000 words, so it's going to be longer than that. I've got like 10,000 words in each Class B and Flip Flop Felony, so probably I think it's likely that I'll finish Guillaume as well. I don't know about Flip Flop Felony or Class B, especially Class B. Class B I think is one that I'm the least likely to get done, just because I don't have as solid of an outline for it. Like Flip Flop Felony, I've only got like 10,000 words on it, but I do have a really solid chapter by chapter outline, which when I do that generally means my books end up shorter, when I have a chapter by chapter outline, because Guillaume and Class B do not have that, and neither does Until I Fall Away. I never do a chapter by chapter outline on my Odds Boys, or honestly anything that has alternating point of views, which I got to figure out a better way to do that. Because if I've got point of view chunks, like in the pentology, I can just write down everything that has happened at the point of view chunk and how we get there. That's how we get there. Books like Guillaume and the Odds Boys book. No, Guillaume is gonna have chunks actually, but like the Odds Boys books, that's just one point of view for the entire thing. So we just, what needs to happen, this needs to happen, how we get there, that's how we get there. Normally I end up adding stuff, and then suddenly Vic Burgess shows up and he's my new favorite character, and it didn't even exist the first 2 times I wrote the book. That was not in Until I Fall Away, that was in a hit or miss. But yeah, and in books like Flip Flop Felony, like the Circulars with Cookies, where we do have multiple point of views and they do switch chapter by chapter and it's a rotation, I have a chapter by chapter outline, which doesn't work as well for me. But well, I got to figure out a better way to do that. But I just haven't. Although I am pleased with how Flip Flop Felony is going. We do meet a new character in Flip Flop Felony who I really love. He's Connor's roommate, Connor's college roommate. And he's adorable, and I love him. He's a Jake, really, from Pentology. That's actually how I wrote him. I was writing it. I was like, I want his roommate to be like Jake from the Pentology of Hell, because I have character types, and one of them is the Jake. And yeah, but yeah, that's where right now. These are the books I've published. I'll probably make another video in another couple months after I publish another couple of books. But that is that. As always, all my Amazon like author page is down below. I've sold absolutely nothing in August, like literally 0, which is sad. It's obviously this isn't my main job. I can't subsist on $80 a year. But Kindle Unlimited. If you already have Kindle Unlimited, like, come on, they're short. But yeah, that is all for today. I'll talk to you later, and bye.